guys, welcome to Scrap Bear Knits. We're trying this in my living room again today. I hope you cannot hear that I'm also doing laundry. Welcome to any new viewers and welcome back to, this would be better if I scooched up a little. Oh, that might be better actually. Okay, that's not bad. A minute in, okay. Can't actually reach me. Oh, that's actually good. Okay, starting over. Hi you guys, welcome to Scrap Bear Knits. My name is Charity. This is my YouTube channel, Scrap Bear Knits. I have another YouTube channel that was actually my paper crafting channel for a while. I haven't done any paper crafting in a long time, so if you just Google Scrap Bear, you might find my paper crafting. This is my new hair that I just got couple weeks ago and I have no idea how to fix it. It was really cute the first day it got done, and that's about it. But this is probably what I will look like if you ever see me in person, so I thought, hey, we'll just go with that. We're in my living room today because that's where I wanted to be when I was podcasting, and I have laundry going so I can kind of keep up with that. And it sounds like I live in a townhome, so it sounds like the maintenance men are outside starting to mow the lawn, so we'll get going. And I'm really sorry it's been a few more weeks than I would have liked for it to since the last time we chatted, but such is life sometimes, and we're just gonna go with it. I do have some tea in my awesome Wonder Woman mug that was gifted to me by the man I am now married to. I love this mug. And I'm trying a new delicious tea. It's by the Republic of Tea, and it's called Hello Honey. I got this at the Paper Source, which is where I have a part-time job right now. And I love the Paper Source. If you watch Opera Joe on Stitch in the High Notes, she has a lot of stuff that she gets at Paper Source, like the calendar that's on her door is from Paper Source. And I think it's awesome. Because I love their stuff too. I've been doing a lot of knitting. I don't have nearly as many finished objects as I would like to have right now. I also have started and frogged a sweater, which is for my May the 4th Knit With You Cal. I was just having some trouble with gauge, and also I was having trouble not twisting my stitches when I was connecting in the round. So I have a Star Wars sweater, which I will put up here, and a picture of it anyway with the pattern name, which will be across the bottom because I think it's the Republic sweater. I don't remember. It is a Star Wars sweater. It's a lovely pattern. It's one of the 2 Star Wars sweaters I hope to knit before the end of May the 4th Knit with the May the 4th Knit With You Cal, which I'm hosting from now until December 15th. It started on May the 4th. Anyway, so please join if you love Star Wars and you want to knit anything that inspires you to think of Star Wars. It can be a Star Wars themed yarn. It can be a pattern that has a Star Wars name or inspiration, or you can just knit it because it makes you think of a character or a place in Star Wars and name it something Star Warsy, and that counts for the Cal. And it's a make-along, it's knit, crochet, whatever makes you think of Star Wars. You can spin Star Wars yarn or something the colors of, you know, Dagobah or Tatooine. Just let me know how you think it's Star Wars, and it counts for the Cal, okay? I'm really thirsty today for some reason. I have had a birthday since we spoke last, and so I did some swaps, and I have an enormous amount of things, but I'm not showing you everything. I'm showing you some very birthday specific things that I got and a prize that I won. So I'll start out with finished objects. Yay! First off, I finally finished these Doctor Who inspired socks. Their number 4 is the colorway by Brazen Stitchery. These are for my dear husband. And I have quite a bit of yarn left over. I have not weighed this. I'm really sorry. I meant to. And then I decided I rolled it into a gobstopper. I did unsuccessfully try a few times to cast on a shorty pair of socks for myself out of that. It will probably still be a shorty pair of socks for me, but like I said, I unsuccessfully cast it on. I don't know what my deal was. I have had some anxiety lately, and so that's made the casting on very difficult because my stitches are all too tight to actually work with. I don't know, you guys. I don't know if you ever have that trouble, but anyway. So the heels and toes on these is just black Cascade Heritage sock yarn. And I actually had a devil of a time knitting black heels and toes. I mean, it's an afterthought heel. They're true afterthoughts heels. I didn't even put part of my stitches on a needle before I cut. I put one half of the stitches on the back, just like one needle in, and cut and pulled it out, and then I slid my other needle in live stitches. And you guys, these socks, they're very matchy. And I don't normally care. I just wanted to see if I could do it. But look how matchy that is. That's really good. So I can do it. I don't know how intentionally I will do this. These cuffs are also like a color repeat longer than I would normally knit socks for him. Normally they would be about right here, but for some reason I just did them long, and they took me a long time for my sock knitting recently. They haven't been washed yet, so you can kind of see a line. I did them on DPNs because I'm really liking DPNs. Oh no, I didn't. I started them on DPNs, then I did them on 9-inch circs. So I did them on a 2.25 ChowGoo 9-inch circular needle, and they fit him really well. So this, I'm sure when I wash them and stick them in his drawer, because he knows he can't wear them until I put them in his drawer, they will be his favorite pair of socks. And then I'm counting this as a finished object. It is a single sock. This is out of a Star Wars colorway. This is one of the things I was knitting for the cow. This is a new pattern by Dana Gervais. It's just been released. It's called Throw Kindness Around Like Confetti. And the yarn is by Pandyas Jewels in the Jedi colorway. It's a Jedi sock set. So it came with this contrasting color for the heels, toes, and cuffs, and there's a little hole there. But like I said, I've been having some anxiety. So you guys, I shoved that on my sock blocker. I cannot get this on my foot. And I realized after I knit the cuff, I can't get it on my foot, even though there's plenty of stretch. It's not the pattern. I was asking if I had test knit this. I was asking if any of the other test knitters had issues with fit. And then they said, did you measure your gauge? And I was like, no, it's a sock. I just cast on the number of stitches for the medium size, which is what I normally wear. And I had used a 2.25 millimeter needle, or US 1. And when I measured my stitch count, I was getting 9.5 stitches per inch, which is way tighter than my normal gauge. I normally get about 8. And that's why these are too snug to go on my feet. So I could knit it on a bigger needle size. I just needed a break from it for a little while. I love this pattern. Like, I even love it not on the blocker. It was easy. It looks super complicated. But it's not hard at all. I love Dana Gervais's patterns. So I'm anxious to knit another pair of these. Like I said, I just needed a break after this disappointment. I was so sad. But she even does the German short row heel that it's okay. Like, I don't knit a lot of short row heels. Most of my heels are afterthought heels because that's what I started with, and that's what I'm comfortable with. This heel fits really nicely. Someone referred to it as a slingshot heel. But I love how it looks. I love the toe. I love Dana Gervais's pattern, so I highly recommend them. That is all my finished knitting. I have another test knit that I'm working on, and I'm so embarrassed that I'm not finished, and I don't know why, you guys. I don't know why. I should have been finished. That same sock yarn that was giving me, the black yarn that was giving me a headache with heels, toes, and toes For some reason, I cast on this little baby tunic, and this is some screaming bright colors, but I thought for a little baby dress, it was super happy and cute. But this is Mina Phillips' design that's not published yet. She's going to publish it soon. But this is the little baby dress. If you've seen her podcast, it's been on her podcast. She's knit a couple of them. She's modeled them on her little daughter, Layla. I did the picot bind off on the sleeves, you guys, and look how nice it looks. It looks super nice. I'll show you the buttonholes in the back. I want to get some screaming neon buttons to go on this, but my buttonholes look cute, and I think it would be sweet with some of those little round buttons, but that might not be the best for a baby dress. But anyway, so the top is black, and this yarn is, this is a wool-free yarn. It's Premier wool-free sock. Show you the label. I got this at my local Joann's just to try it, because I have a friend who, well, I have a couple actually that are allergic to wool. And this is the Vegas Lights colorway. It's a self-patterning yarn. It looks kind of like an opal patterning, but it's looking really cute in this dress. It's just striping up nicely. And I've just joined on my second ball. There's about 70 grams of fiber in this right now. And then, I mean, I guess you still say fiber if it's wool-free, but anyway, so there's 70 grams of yarn here right now, and I've got a few more inches. I think I measured it's 3 more inches to go, and then there'll be an inch in the black of a little border down at the bottom and another picot bind off, which I'm excited to do. That actually worked out really well for me, so that is my only current work in progress. But it was my birthday. The end of May was my birthday. Oh no, it's not my only work in progress. This is what I'll be working on more this weekend. It's my Hippo for Easter leftovers from my shawl. And this is another test knit for Dana Gervais Designs. I haven't got through a whole repeat yet, but it's not hard. It's just, I've been mostly working on my dress. Oh. Yes, you can't see. This has a lot of eyelets and it's a lace pattern sock, but I love the way this knits up, and it's going to look so pretty. It's the Mahalo sock is its name right now, and I think that'll probably be its name. And these are my 2.5 millimeter Knit Pro Zings. That's what they are. Knit Pro Zings. That I'm knitting this on, so that's US 1.5. And this project is living in my Mrs. Brown's bag, which was the June bag of the month for last year, which was the only month she did a bag of the month, but it's fantastic and I love it, even though I can't remember the name of the yarn that's knit up. That's my only other work in progress other than the baby tunic, but I have a needle adjacent project, which is, well, I won a prize. Let me do that first. Sorry, I'll show you my needle adjacent project in a minute. So I follow my favorite designers and yarn dyers on Instagram. I also follow a lot of people whose stuff I enjoy. I follow some watchers of the podcast. And I can't tell you how important it is if you love a certain dyer or if you love a certain pattern maker, that you follow them on Instagram. Like Lolo did it, I'm done. I'm watching all her stuff. I love her colorways. Pandyas Jewels, I love her colorways. She did the Jedi sock set that I'm knitting, or have knitted the sample of, the Throw Kindness Around like confetti sock. This was Pandyas Jewels' new colorway, and it's a little more mintier. I don't know, that's pretty good. Anyway, she showed the skein of yarn on her Instagram, and then she had a contest of what to name it. And as soon as I saw it, and she was saying it was kind of an accident, or, you know, this wasn't kind of an intentional, but she's going to make it a colorway, I thought of, I meant to do that, and my name won, so I won the skein of yarn. And it's super beautiful, and it's super soft. This is her Snug sock base, which is a think it's a 75-25. Yep, 75 superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. It's a beautiful base. She has beautiful colorways, and I've added this to my collection. And I'm not sure, I kind of want it to be something around the face, but I don't know. I would be happy to have it as socks, but I have a needle adjacent project already, so that I like to let my yarn kind of simmer for a little while, let it curate in my stash, and then it'll tell me what it wants to be. So that's where that's going to live for just a little bit. And then to go with some yarn that I already own, last year at Christmas time, I got some Legacy Fiber Arts. The 4 food groups colorway is the one that I got a couple of skeins on. I want to make a big shawl with. But I wanted, it's got little pops of neon green. So I got some Sourpuss by Stranded Dye Works. And it took a while to get here because it came from the UK. But look at that neon, you guys. It's super neon-y. It matches those little pops in the 4 food groups colorway perfectly. And it's on the cashmere base. So it's 80-10-10 superwash merino cashmere nylon, which will match the Cozy Toes base because it's a cashmere base as well. So nice. So this will be, I don't know if I'll knit this shawl this summer, but I'll definitely knit it in the winter time because it's kind of Christmassy. And why not have neon green as your Christmas green? You know, we can have what we want. There's a beautiful sweater making the rounds on Instagrams and Ravelry, and it's called the Tegna sweater, and it's a beautiful sweater. It has a lot of positive ease in it, so I'll probably knit it in the size smaller than what I would normally buy off the rack or something according to the bust size, because it has a lot of positive ease, and I'm already a big girl. And it has fitted sleeves, so it does say pay close attention to your stitch count for your sleeves. But Lolo Did It came out with a new colorway called Elegance, and I decided I had to have that as a Tegna sweater. Look at this yarn, you guys. This is Elegance, and then, so I'll say the correct name, Little Darlin', which is somewhere between a blue and a purple, and that color is actually in very lightly in the Tegna skeins. But anyway, this there's a lace bottom part of the Tegna. So the Little Darlin' is going to be the lace, and then I'm going to save some to go at the end of the sleeves. And then, because fading is a thing, I'll fade it into the Tegna for the main body of the sweater. And then the little sleeve caps will probably also be in Elegance. And that will be my Tegna, and that's, I'm planning on this being the next thing on the needles. I'm super excited about it. And it goes with my, the only things I can really think of right now that I want to knit immediately are sweaters. But you won't be able to tell that because I bought a couple of things. Like I said, it was my birthday. And the Knit Girls, who were basically the first podcast that I hardcore got into, they did a 7-year anniversary kit. And I was lucky enough to snag one. I missed the first round of the bags, but they had 2. They had one later, and I just happened to be awake when it went up, and so ta-da, it was fate. So this is the adorable bag, and Twist Fiber Studio is who made the bag, and it has this great handle. I know that, who did I get that from? Scrappy Thread? Is it Scrappy Thread? She started making just handles you can buy. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to look on my Instagram. I'm going to be rude for a second, you guys. But I'm pretty sure. Let me not lie. Yes, it is the Scrappy Thread. Erica's been making just handles you can buy to go with the bags. And the handles that she's making are out of that, I believe it's twill. That's the measuring tape fabric. So at her shop, you can I need to buy like 5 or 6 of them because I love a handle on my zipper. And I have, this is my bag from Artistic Lily, and I've snagged my Wonder Woman handle to have on it right now. This has been carrying around my little dress, my Mina Phillips baby dress. But I just love having that handle to carry my bag around. So If you don't want to see, I know the girls showed the fabric and they may have showed the whole bag, I can't remember now, on their podcast. If you do want to see what's inside, because I'm pretty sure they also showed the yarn already, then don't look. If you don't care and you don't mind seeing what's inside, or you want to see what's inside, keep looking. The kitties are on both sides. This is the cutest bag. Okay, so the yarn was dyed by Desert Vista Dye Works to match the bag. And it is called the 7-Year Itch, a Knit Girls with 3 L's exclusive colorway. Okay, and look, it matches. Super cool. This is, of course, a self-striping yarn. It's amazing. I have Desert Vista Dye Works. I can't remember if I've actually completed a pair of socks in this yet. Don't think I have. I think I still have it all hoarded. Some of it's caked up and ready to go, so I should really get on that. But she makes great self-striping yarn. I highly recommend it. It came with a measuring tape that says the Knit Girls. And I just haven't opened the bag yet. I actually already have one that I got from them in person. It has a Knit Girls pen, which is really cool because this tip is also a stylus, but then it clicks out and it's pinned. So if you use a stylus with your phone or your magic pad that's a computer that I can't remember what's called, is it a notebook? It's not a notebook. Anyway, those fancy little tablet, it's a tablet. If you have a tablet and you need a stylus, there you go. And it's red, you know, because Leslie loves red. And then this awesome Tuft Woolens lip balm, which I really like. Sorry, I touched it, so I had to put it on. Which is in the vanilla scent. It's yummy. And then there's this beautiful graphic postcard that has a little note signed by Laura and Leslie. Thank you for celebrating 7 years with us. Isn't that the cutest graphic? Don't you just want it on everything? Like at least some stickers. Yep, they're stickers. They're stickers that, there's like a yak and a woolly sheep and some other sheep and some bunnies and some goats. How adorable is that, okay? And they're holding a little banner that says Knit Girls 7. And then if that wasn't enough, so I really feel like this was good value for money. You got this beautiful tote bag. It's a big old tote bag, so you can take it, you know, to the yarn store, to the fabric store, sweater shopping, you know, you can just take it anywhere. It's a tote bag. It's fabulous. Who doesn't want a tote bag? And it's canvas, and it's really feels very sturdy. So I'm super excited. I'm really impressed because I was going to be happy with just the bag and the yarn, and they're like, no, we have swag. I was like, oh, okay, swag's cool. I didn't know what to expect. I thought maybe just some sort of ruler, tape measure, that ruler. Yeah, no, it was even better. So, ta-da! Purchased that for myself, kind of as a happy birthday. And this is a big bag, you guys. You can fit 3 skeins easy, maybe even. I don't know if I could put a sweater for me, but well, you know what? I said 3 skeins. That's 3 skeins, so that'd be a sweater, right? And then I got a box from a friend, a surprise box from a friend for my birthday. And so let me just show you what I got for my birthday. So I don't know if you have seen that Lolo Did It is doing project bags. She does, you know, a few in these fun, awesome fabrics. And this is hilarious. This makes me think of Beetlejuice. I'm not going to lie. Lauren, Beetlejuice. You need a Beetlejuice colorway, okay? Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And this is some Lola Did It yarn in a color that I didn't have yet. This is Dobby's socks. And seriously, KT from Inside Number 23, I know you don't watch my podcast, but you need this colorway because this complements your coloring so well. Not that we have the same coloring. I think I'm actually a lot pinker than you are because you're this beautiful porcelain color. But look at that color. Look at it. Look at it. It's beautiful. Okay. And then I got a selection of minis to go with. One is Fame and one is Summer Nights. So those are the two minis that were chosen to go with. And this is cashmere, you guys. And I'm going to tell you, if you've never had cashmere socks, I knit some socks for myself last year. It's either, yeah, I think I knit them in December in the turtle pearl cashmere base. Those socks, they're amazing. Be good to yourself. Knit cashmere socks. My friend also sent some little tiny lavender sachets, and these are made out of antique embroidered handkerchiefs, and they smell amazing. I love the smell of lavender. It almost makes me want to cry. It makes me feel so good when I smell it. Does that happen to anyone else? I feel like it shouldn't, but it does. And then I got some yarn. I got a skein of hedgehog fibers in Boombox. How fun is that? This would also, I feel like, fade into anything I have purchased from Lola Did It. If I wanted to do a fade, I could just, Lola Did It, Boombox, done. Oh, also, look at that. It's kind of the same pink to carry through. That mint color's in there. Could be love at first sight. I got my first skein of Sweet Georgia. Sweet Georgia. I've never had Sweet Georgia. This is the Tough Love sock. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. I love a good 80-20, guys. This is 425 yards. And look at that pink. What's the color? What is the color? It's a flower. Snapdragon. It's a snapdragon. And it really is more of a like watermelon. It's showing up, I think, different, but let's see. I don't know if it'll show because oh yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's like the color it is. Anyway, amazing and soft and squishy. And then I got this really special Serenity Silk Single. Also never had any of this. It's Zen Yarn Garden Serenity Silk Single. My colorway name is Sarcastic. Loving it. Loving it. Oh, and then their tag says what colors this coordinates with. So it coordinates with Groovy and Viola. So I kind of want to look and just check them out because I've never seen anyone just write on their tag what it coordinates with. How cool is that? Sorry, you guys. I'm now down. Drop my phone. Now down to the bottom. So I got a super, super special skein in this yarn because it's mustache yarns, you guys, in the apple picking colorway. Look at those colors. Oh, so I love mustache yarn. Not gonna lie. Getting a little. I love it. Love it. If you know someone who loves self-striping yarn, if you can get a skein of mustache or lollipop, luckiest girls in the world. Guys too. Guys like to knit. And who doesn't like to knit self-striping sock yarn? Also, I mentioned I'm knitting on a hippo colorway. Look what else! This is so cute. The name of the shop is Mark the Punk. So, how awesome is that? So I can put this on any bag that's holding my hippo colorway. And look, it'll go with, where's my bag? I'm gonna smack that on there right now when I get finished. Because it's cute, okay? And then, because I've never seen these, and I now think everyone should have one, and because this was also part of my birthday gifties, this is an ink bag. This is a Notions pouch that you can see through. And so I've got my Lolo Did It measuring tape. I've got a trusty pair of stork scissors. Look at these, look at these. Look how cute. Look at that. It's like a almost a turquoisey green. It's a little more green. That's pretty much green, but oh my God, they're beautiful. It's got a tiny crochet hook, just twirled off the edge. A pen, because you need a pen in your bag. A little short, cute pen. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this, and I love this so much. This is a colored metal darning needle that has the little bend in it. These are my favorite kind of darning needles. I want someone to like custom make me some shorter darning needles though, because quite often I find that my darning needles are so long I need one shorter. It's got some cuticle intensive from the Barmaids. Lolo Cuticle Intensive. And I needed to use this the other day before I got it because I stuck my hand in a project bag and it got caught on a yarn label and there was a little tear. And then I've got some of those delightful light bulb stitch markers. But you guys, ink bags. Look how great that is. Like if you think a project bag is amazing with a window, Notion pouch is where it is. It's where it's at. And then this little charm says, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. So right now, because it's like a Lolo thing, I have all my Lolo stuff inside my Lolo project bag. And look, it matches. It matches. I'm sure that was planned. What can I say? Oh, and because you need a snack. Jelly Bellies. Okay. Okay. So that's some amazingness. I hope you are enabled. I did some swaps recently that I want to share with you really bad. I kind of still have all my swap stuff together except for the little bits I've been playing with, but I can't, I feel like it's obnoxious to pull those out now, and I want to get this uploaded. I did watch the Grocery Girls' new podcast this morning. I did order a Zadie sweater kit because that's a cute sweater. They knit it in 10 days. If Jody knit her first sweater in 10 days, I think maybe I can do it. It's worsted weight. I'm up for a good challenge. So I ordered it, my yarn in kind of a Yoda green. And what's really weird is I already have like Yoda green yarn here. But it's okay. I can have two green sweaters, right? This is actually a lighter solid. It's I ordered the heathered color. And maybe leaf is the colorway. I don't know. I'll try to look it up and have it down here for you. But it is the Zadie sweater, and you can't buy the pattern separately right now. And I really enjoy the Grocery Girls, and so I want to knit along with them. And other than that, it's been a weird week, you guys. I started my week pretty normally, and then Tuesday morning I woke up to finding out that my niece's home burned to the ground. And so she and her two children are living with my sister right now. The Red Cross was there like the day it happened, and they gave her some assistance money right away, and they're investigating what caused the fire. But one of her sons was at my sister's house when it happened. And so he was fine, but she and her other son had just run to the store. They ran to town. I don't remember if they were buying groceries or just running a quick errand, but they weren't gone very long, and their entire home was gone almost when they came back. So it can happen fast, and it can be unpredictable, and I want you guys to all take really good care of yourselves, because you never know what's going to happen, and also you never know when you're going to need family or friends. So just remember to ask for help if you need it, and be the kind of friend you would want to have be for you, because when you have tragedy in your life or you have difficult times, that's when you know who your real friends are. And I feel very, very fortunate to know that I have some really good friends. I had a visit last week. My best friend in high school is a guy named David Mitchell, and I used to always call him David Mitchell from Virginia, when in actuality he wasn't born in Virginia, but he lived in Virginia most recently before he moved back to Alabama, which is where we met. And I now live in Virginia, near where he was in high school before he moved back to Alabama. And he said very shortly after I moved to this area that I would probably never come back to Alabama after living here because I would like, you know, he's like, your personality, you'll like it there more. And I haven't lived in Alabama since I was 21 years old. And I'm 42 now. And I did not realize I have now lived out of Alabama as long as I lived in it. So that's okay. I'm not saying I would never move back to Alabama. I'm just saying there are other places I still want to live. So, you know. Gosh, I'm sorry, you guys. I look terrible. But if you ever meet me in real life, this is how I am. I have two modes, dressy and comfortable, and I'm dressy for work and for events, and the rest of the time, this is pretty more true. I'm sorry. But anyway, so David and his wife were vacationing in this area with their son, who I had met before, but he was very, very small when we all met before, and he is 10 now, and he is so much fun. His name is Dennis, and he's adorable, and I truly had the best time with them for 2 days that they were here in this area. And I really feel like I'm lucky because I have several friends. I have a handful of people that I have known for many years. You know, I've known David longer because I knew him in high school, but I have some precious, precious friends that I lived in the same city with them for 5 or 6 years or whatever, and I can call them today and we just talk like we saw each other yesterday, and we kind of catch up, and that love, that friendship is still there. And I have to say, I have met some people in the knitting community that I already feel like I have that with. And it's so precious to know if you need someone and they say they're there, that they're really there. So cherish your friends. And if there's someone you haven't talked to in a while, reach out to them and just love your peeps. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. I got a little bit emotional, but it's been kind of an emotional week. Last couple of weeks, actually. So thank you so much for stopping by. Please feel free to comment. I put all of my show notes right now in Ravelry. I'm considering starting just a blog so I can feed the podcast a podcast garden. Let me know if you'd like to be able to download it on iTunes. I've kind of already started things in motion for that. And I think that's where we're going to go. But as I'm looking at the clock, I'm going to have to run because I got to go change and get into dressy mode because I have to go to work in an hour. So I'm going to try to go ahead and upload the podcast today and have a great couple of weeks because I plan to be back in 2 weeks to show you what I've done and to show you what I'm working on. So thanks so much. Be sure to stop by the Ravelry group. We can start other threads, you guys. I'm going to put a sweater thread. You tell me what sweaters you're wanting to work on right now, and we'll talk about sweaters because that's kind of where I'm at these days. And by the way, I want to put out there, I admire anyone who started Starting Point Cal and finished it in 5 weeks. I didn't start it. I didn't feel like I could finish that much knitting in that amount of time. But you know what? With the color changes and the choices and how to do your sections, like some people did lacier sections and some people did garter. You guys, those are amazing, and I totally see how she made that doable in that amount of time. Hats off to Hohi. I'm getting ready to wind my yarn and start my Tegna. I'm going to try to get some other stuff off the needles to show you in a couple of weeks. So enjoy your knitting time, folks. Thanks for stopping by today.